Did you know? Human beings are at best 0.01% human. The rest being everything else: animal, vegetable, mineral, atoms, ions, protons, neurons, elemental, electromagnetical frequencies. The natural and the supernatural, the psyche, the spirit, the soul, the imagination, all carries weight in eternity. Apparently, it's a biological fact. At the moment of death, the body dramatically loses weight. And it's not just flesh, blood, and bone. It's everything else. Finally, released from its 0.01% overtaxed, incorporated burden, passing into the 99.99% of an ongoing, energized consciousness. In perpetual dialogue with itself, debating the merits of everything and everything else imaginable. The only thing unimaginable, the void. To be imaginatively avoided at all costs. That black hole of comatose unconsciousness, not even aware it's awaiting the next nudge to re-spark its plugs, recharge its battery, and fire up its engines for a refreshed rebellion against nothing in particular. It's been suggested that the greatest gift this 0.01% humanity has been given is the gift of choice, which can be a blessing, can be a curse at decisive or indecisive moments. But if we choose well, if we choose wisely, if we choose good, if we choose often, we will be soundly prepped for that moment of death when we have two choices left. We can choose the white light, enter through the white-lit tunnel into a heaven where everything and everybody you have already loved is waiting patiently for you to join them in a perpetual love fest. Or we can choose the blue light, take a chance on love, spin eternity's wheel of fortune, hop on to a never-ending whirligig merry-go-round roller coaster carousel, helter-skelter of every love you've never even imagined, never mind experienced in this lifetime, not even in a Jane Austen novel. Either way, 'tis a lovely thought. Truly, a no end of love conquers all. Unless, of course, you've already made your choice. In a moment of 0.01% madness, driven to distraction, despair, doubt, or fear of the unknown, or an overarching self-worthiness that demands immediate gratification, recognition, and reward in this world, and let the 99.99% of everything else be damned. Lured by the siren song of fame and fortune, power and wealth, and access to barely imaginable delights and pleasures of flesh, blood, bone, and ego, you've turned up at the crossroads at midnight to meet with the devil you know, or think you know, thought you knew, maybe the president of CBS, to negotiate a deal, make me an offer I can't refuse. All my earthly dreams come true. Talent pouring from my pores, my imagination flooding the known universe, my image proliferating like sardines released from an Alaskan cannery, disciples worshipping at my feet, bated breath linchpinned on my every word, my every move, my every shrug, smile, frown, lip sync, or tic-tac-and-toe, a legend in my own time and beyond. Alive or dead, both human and immortal. A bit like Frank Sinatra. Swimming pools, movie stars, a star among stars. If not in heaven, in Las Vegas. So what do you think, Santa baby? Do I have what it takes? Am I made of the right stuff? please just call me old Nick Nolte or Colonel Tom, ground and space control. The missing link between life on Earth and life on Mars. Did David Bowie know something we don't? Just sign this contract. In blood. Don't have any ink on me. Beside, blood's more binding. I'll have your DNA on file. Should you change your mind, I could bump you off and clone a new you. A new you. I'll call you Dolly Parton this time. A cash cow by any other name. And you don't have to read it all. It's just your basic packaging, distribution, marketing formalities. But do note the highlighted blind eye, non-disclosure clause, and the no loophole copyright infringement addendum. My lawyers will take care of everything else. So if you pop your adopted moniker on the undotty line, you can be on your way. If not to heaven, I'll see you in Vegas, Elvis. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the crossroads. For all who have eyes to not see, ears to not hear, and lips to only speak when spoken to, lest ye shall offend somebody, the oracles are spoken on your behalf. The mermaids singing all over the place, Starbucks around every corner, Alice behind every counter, uniformly dispensing the toxic Kool-Aid, feeding your head with all manner of phantasmagorical disfigurations, maddening hatters, marching hares, white rabbits, pink elephants, or vice versa, doped-up caterpillars sitting atop mushroom clouds. The Queen of Hearts, the King of Clubs, the Jack of Diamonds, the Queen of Spades, the King of Rock and Roll, the Queen of England, the Wizards of Oz, all these skull and bones men behind the scenes with their laptops and mocha lattes, GPSing you up the yellow brick road to Dreamland, Wonderland, Fairyland, Disneyland, La La Land, Van Diemen's Land, the land of our fathers, the fatherland, the motherland, the holy land of Zion, land of hope and glory, land of the free and home of the brave. For fortune favors the brave. Those who are willing to march into hell at their master's command, if only to prove they're not cowards and capable of hatred as well as the next man, because it's hate that drives this world forward. What's love got to do with it anyway? Hate, far more dynamically expedient to divide and conquer the world. We're not in Kansas anymore, Tonto, my faithful companion. So suddenly this special effect tornado twists your rainbow back to black and white, except for that red alert flashing. Kemo Sabi's gone all Confucius, and Confucius he say, what the hell? Where the hell are we, my faithful companion? I think we're in a war zone. I can hear the horn-conch trumpets sounding. The uniforms are being donned. The weapons distributed. And half the civilized world is marching proudly off into the valley of Golgotha to slaughter or be slaughtered by the other half. Two halves make a holy war. Unfortunately, one half thinks it's holier than thou, needs to eliminate the other half to make the world whole again, at least half of it, but far more wholesome. More holes in the Antarctica than in Blackpool and Lancashire, but that's another story. It's like splitting the atom to bring peace to the world. Whatever pieces are left, we'll piece them back together with a very smart grid, Wi-Fi from pole to pole. The planet, a microwave oven, zapping us with frequencies way below our Imagino line. A global village, virtually floating in the space between humanity's ears. All the world glued to the same Facebook page, sharing what little piece of their mind they have left. Same screen, same channel, same story, same movie, same Super Bowl game. Oblivious to what's going on outside the frame. Lucifer is rising from the stands. Good godliness dangling by a thread from his coattails. All the fallen angels on their feet. applauding their master's triumphal ascent to the top of the Yankee Stadium, the Albert Hall, the Washington Fowlers. Let me introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. You can call me Jumping Jack, Screaming Old Such. I like to pop up unexpectedly out of a coffin with a knife between my teeth, a noose in my right hand, kissing skulls, jerking off and being sodomized at the same time in top hats and tails. A bit like Fred Astaire, only drenched in blood and with a toilet seat wrapped around my neck. Shock and awe therapy to disarm all complacency and blind optimism. Beauty has surrendered to the beast. And if you can't take the heat, stay out of Hell's Kitchen. My black magician bankers have cooked up their bookkeeping wonders. My scientist sorcerers, my shape-shifting lifetime actors, my wizard alchemists transform debased nature into gold, gold into wealth, and wealth into the power to rule the world. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Which Lord? The Lord of the Flies, the Lord of the Rings, Lord Kitchener, I want you. For World War I, then World War II, World War III strikes you out. I may look like an angel, I may look like a god, but I'm the devil in disguise. I've been working under an assumed name, Santa Claus. But who else but the devil would command anybody into hell? Convince him it's the only way to get to heaven. Who else but the devil would convince you that God takes sides even against himself? Who else but the devil would uproot the earth and collapse the heavens to Las Vegas, separate nature from its own design and replace it with an architectural digest of castles in the air, hovels in the mudflats? Who else but the devil would convince you that compassion, empathy, basic human decency and respect for all living things is some infantile naivety that has no place in the real world? Who else but the devil would break your heart with love songs while slipping cyanide in between the cracks? Pick a number between 1 and lost. Add the number of days in 100 years, plus the number of hours in 1,000 minutes. Multiply the sum by its own sum. Divide the sum by the number of weekends in 1,000,000 decades. Then subtract the number of times you've asked yourself, what the hell is going on here? And the answer will always come back to zero. For without nothing, something would cease to exist, and everything else would be meaningless. It's the magical formula for not reaching a conclusion till you come to the end. Nothing is what it seems to be. The only mystery: who was that masked stranger in the midnight at the crossroads, crooning "Ooby-dooby-doo" in a haunting falsetto? Didn't sound like Frank Sinatra at all. And the rain will fall in the desert, and snow will snow in the desert, and weeds will grow in the desert, and the desert will be abandoned by all who have watched it become what it is. Oh, the waters of the world only wash over us, leaving pebbles on the beach drained of meaning, filled with life, emptied of consequence. Sand seeking shelter from the stars, then finding its bliss in being shelterless. Oh, the waters of the world If you held me close, I wouldn't feel so afraid. Oh, the waters of the world, I never thought it would end like this.